Hi there. Wala. Doon sa pula. Hi everyone. We're just waiting for the others to join in our live streaming. And then soon we will start. So, as mentioned, today we will be talking about the program Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, or more commonly known as AIPP. So, this is the program that I use and my sister actually used to immigrate here in Canada. Today we will be discussing about what are the requirements, how you would qualify for an AIPP program, and what is the procedure, like how or the step by step, like how you can actually come here through that program, and I will also provide you tips on how you could actually find a job um, or at least process the. For those who are already online, please say hi to say I am eating. I just came from a long drive from Jasper. Now I'm here in Edmonton. So after work in the morning and then straight. Mm-mm. Sige, mama, natawagan mo, ano ako, live stream ako.
Okay,
Okay, bye. Hi, Michael Olude. Where are you from? As I've said, those who are actually, I would know where the people who are actually viewing our live streaming. Hi, Yashika Malik. Okay, so hi, Michael. Greetings to Dubai. How are you today? What time is it right now there? So, okay, then let's start. Once again, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time to be watching or to be actually attending our live stream today. My name is Ray. I'm originally from the Philippines and currently I live here in Canada. I've been a permanent resident here since October 2018. And as I mentioned, I was processed through the program called Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So, just also to advise everyone, last January 2020, I just completed my immigration practitioner's diploma here in Canada. So that means I could process or I could become an immigration consultant soon. I'm just processing my requirements, and tomorrow, actually, I have my English exam, and definitely on May, I will be sitting for the licensure exam. So, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, that is what we're going to be talking tonight. And as I've said, this is the program that I use as well as my sister who just arrived last January as well. And she's now in New Brunswick and she's also processed through the same program called Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So first, let us define what this Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program is. So Eugene, and okay, so we'll just continue. I'll just give you an overview first what the program is all about. So as I've said, the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program is a program that was created in 2017, originally intended to last only for 3 years. And its main focus is to attract immigrants who are actually interested to live and permanently reside in the Atlantic provinces. So there are four Atlantic provinces, which are the Eastern Canada. So these provinces are actually surrounded by ocean. So specifically the Atlantic Ocean. That's why it's called Atlantic Canada. So the four provinces are New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and the province where I originally came from is the Newfoundland and Labrador. So as I've said, this program is actually created to make it easier for people who actually are interested to immigrate here in Canada. So why is it easier? As I was saying, because in Canada. So what am I saying is for a regular employer, it is necessary that they should get an LMIA if they want to get people from outside of Canada to come and work here. However, in the program AIPP, so if employers are actually having a good standing in the human resources department of the government or of the province, they could actually register and become an AIPP designated employer. And then from there, they could actually post the job in a job site such as Indeed.ca, Job Bank, Monster, or any other job sites. Once they've done it, they have to wait for a month or 2 months. And if they are not able to hire anyone from people who are already living in Canada, meaning the Canadian citizens or the Canadian permanent residents, they were not able to hire people, then they could start proceeding entertaining application or applicants from outside of Canada to go through the recruitment process. And once international applicant gets the job, they do not need to process an LMIA automatically or instantly. The employer can just offer a job offer or an offer letter to the applicant without getting an LMIA. So which is easier, and at the same time, it doesn't cost an employer any single dollar. So if, for example, if I'm an employer and I would like to hire someone from outside of Canada, then I would register to become an AIPP designated employer, and then I could hire people from outside of Canada because I don't have to pay anything. Unless me as an employer, I will require my applicants or my new hires to actually process for a work permit. Okay, so if there's no work permit necessary, then that means that the employer doesn't have to pay anything. If work permit is required, then the company or the employer just need to pay an extra 200. This is for employers who are in a hurry, meaning in a hurry to get their newly hires. So while waiting for their permanent residents to arrive, they are already processing for their work permit so that they could come easily and start working as soon as possible. As soon as their work permit comes, fly to Canada and start working while waiting for their permanent residents to be processed. Okay, so hi, Mommings Gaming Hub, how are you? So I'll just continue the overview, and then after we'll proceed answering your questions, guys. So as I was saying, again, Atlantic Experiences, I can offer you the job automatically and process for a permanent residence through Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So what are the requirements? Let's clarify this. What are the requirements for people to qualify for an AIPP? Okay, so first I would just like greet our people who just arrived. Hi, Eugene Ru. Welcome to our live streaming. Hi, Eric joined. We are just talking about AIPP or Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Okay, greetings to Eugene Ru from Pretoria, South Africa. Hi, how are you there? Welcome, welcome. And also, Immigration Pilot Program. I got my permanent residence last 2018 October. Originally, I arrived in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, and now I live here in Jasper, Alberta, Canada. And as I've said, and this is what I'm just explaining, what are the requirements or what are the things that you need to have in order for you to qualify for an AIPP? So number one is you should have at least 1 year of experience, job experience. It doesn't matter if it's international or in Canada, but it has to be 1 year experience in the past 3 years, okay? In the past 3 years. And the good thing about here is all jobs categories or levels are actually accepted. So from NOC 0, A, B, C, and D. So that is one of the requirements. You must have a job experience of at least 1 year. Okay, what about people who actually came here in Canada and studied or went to college, university in the Atlantic provinces? Yes, you could also qualify for an AIPP. You do not need an experience because you are qualified under the stream called International Graduate Program. Okay, so that is about it. And also, IELTS, okay? The good thing about or English or language qualification, the good thing about AIPP compared to other programs like, for example, Express Entry, which requires at least a minimum of CLB 7, AIPP only require does not require actually high language requirement. As I was saying, only CLB4, CLB4 or NCLC4. So if you are actually having, okay, what is CLB4? CLB4 means you are not fluent computer based. So CLB4 basically is you need to get four the um, in all the factors or aspects of the exam, meaning your reading should be four, your writing should be four, your listening should be four, your speaking should be four. If you are taking the IELTS general, CLB4 means 3.5 in reading, 4.0 in writing, listening 4.5, and speaking 4.0. So imagine you do not have to be fluent in English. As long as you could communicate, you could interact, and you can create sentences. I think you LC4, which is there are two exams accepted for French, which is TEF Canada and TCF Canada. So 45, speaking 181. And for TCF, NCLC4, reading you should have at least 342, writing 4, listening 331, and speaking 4. Okay? So that is our requirement for the English or French language. Is that understood? Please, if you have any questions, just put it in our comment section and I will answer. I'm just giving an overview first for everyone who doesn't understand or who's new about AIPP. So we would be all on the same page. All the information that we need, you will be provided. And if you have any questions or clarification, please put it on our live chat and I will actually go through them one by one and will answer your questions. Okay? So I've mentioned our first 1 year of work experience or a graduate of 2-year program in the Atlantic province from a public fund college or university. Of course, the language requirement, you should also be at least a minimum of high school graduate equivalent to a Canadian grading. So that means high school graduate equivalent in Canada. Why? Because there are other countries or several different countries have different educational standards. Like for example, in the Philippines, few years ago, elementary is only up to grade 6, and then you will go to high school, first year to fourth year. While here in Canada, there is grade 1 to 7, and then grades 8 to 12. So that means 12 years of studying in Canada and 12 years of studying in the Philippines. That is high school graduate. Okay, in the past, it's only 10 years in the Philippines. That's why if you are a high school graduate in the Philippines, for example, once reach the target. So that's why it's very important that you understand what ECA is. ECA stands for Educational Credential Assessment. So this is actually the conversion of your educational credential from your country or an education level of Canadian high school graduate. Okay, so what does that mean? There are different organizations that could actually process your ECA, such as, for example, WES. I process mine through BCIT, ICES. There is ICAS, there is IQAS. So you just have to choose. You might be confused as well. That's why it's very important that you have a good understanding of what ECA is. Okay, so I'll refer your ECA. Number one is you need to create your profile in their website. So if you want to do WES, then you go and create your profile in WES. Create your profile there, and then it will ask you to upload a copy of your diploma or a copy of your transcript if you have it. And if not, that is also okay. Then they will ask you to pay for the fee. you would have to give that to your school or college or university because you need to apply for a certified true copy or an original copy of your diploma and your transcript. Okay, diploma and transcript. You need to apply for that. And once you get that, either in a sealed envelope, your college or university or ICES. So they have to send it. Okay, I know that other organization allow the applicant to be the one sending it. However, it is a must that the envelope is sealed and not have been opened. So you just have to make sure that it's sent. Once it's sent, 3 to 4 weeks, they will actually evaluate your qualification and then you will get your ECA, which will be sent to your mail. Okay, will be sent to your address. And then that is one of the requirements, of course, the proof of funds. The good thing about single applicant, for example, only you is actually applying for permanent residence, you must have a minimum of 3,240 Canadian dollars in your bank account. Okay. Okay, Momins, just give me a few more minutes. I will go to answering your question after I completed mentioning about the requirements. Okay, few more minutes. Bear with me. Okay. If there are two people, for example, a principal applicant and the spouse, it is necessary that you present 4,034 Canadian people, 6,021 Canadian dollars. So people are actually asking, okay, I received several questions. Can I borrow that money? Can my mother actually, can I use my mother's money? Can I actually, once I apply or once I get my bank certificate, can I start withdrawing my money? Okay, so the answer there is, technically speaking, it has to be in your bank until you come to Canada and you live already in Canada. Okay? So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you got your permanent residence, you got your COPR, and you are almost flying to Canada and you will withdraw your money and you will give payback to your sister, to your mother. You cannot do that. You have to have that money until you arrive in Canada. Why? Why is that so? Because it doesn't mean that you have your COPR or the certificate of permanent residence when you come to Canada. The final say is still with the border, meaning the immigration officer or the CBSA or Canada Border Security Services Agency. So when you come to arrive in Canada, they will ask you questions. And that is a possibility that they will ask you, where is your money? Okay. And if you tell them that you don't have your money, bye bye permanent residence through AIPP. Okay. So those are the requirements. And of course, the most important requirement is the job offer. Job offer coming from AIPP designated employer. Okay. So I already talked about the program. I already talked about the requirements. And okay, then for people who have been waiting for your questions to be answered, okay, we'll go through that and then we will proceed again to talking about the program. Okay, but anyways, for people who are just tuning in, once again, my name is Ray and I live here in Canada, permanent resident and processed through Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. I also have my sister who's in New Brunswick right now. She's also processed through AIPP. And if this is your first time to be watching my video, please subscribe. I would actually appreciate that. I also have other videos talking about different programs on how to immigrate in Canada, such as Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program, which is also one of the newest programs that definitely I will be talking about or discussing in one of our live streaming in the future. Okay, so now I'll go through some of the questions. I'll just Question from Yashika Malik. Hi, sir. My husband is working in hotel as store manager. He has done his WES and doing IELTS. Is it possible to get job through this program? Okay. Um, Yashika Malik, yes, it is possible. For example, I will tell you my story. I am a hotelier for 10 years. From 2007 to 2017, I was working in hotel. Actually, until now, I'm working in a hotel restaurant. My last job before I applied for AIPP, I was a restaurant manager in a five-star hotel. And how I got here is I got a job offer from a fast food offering me a job as a food and beverage or food service supervisor. So from restaurant manager in hotel, I get a job as food service supervisor in a fast food from an AIPP designated employer. It doesn't matter. Um, you're a manager, you're a supervisor, as long as your responsibilities are actually in line to the job requirements or job description of the NOC that you are applying. So I got processed, I was endorsed, and I became permanent resident. Okay. Um, I hope that helps, Yashika. Another question, Eugene Ru. Is there any age limit with AIPP? The, the answer is no, no age limit in AIPP. As long as you get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer, you are good to go and you have all the requirements. When I was processing my PR application under AIPP, we have a small WhatsApp group. So we are actually exchanging information for people who are actually have processed, have gotten their permanent residence on. For those who are new and will just start the process. I AIPP. That time she was already 55 years old. So as I'm saying, there is no age requirement for that or no age limit. As long as you get the job offer that you need, then you are good to go and you can process your four provinces as only Scotiabank is designated now. Okay, that's a very good question, but I'll just have to drink water. I've been talking so fast. Just 1 second. Okay, so moments is a very good question. For a person to qualify for AIPP, it is a requirement that you should get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer. So that's why it's called AIPP. However, if you are able to get a job offer from, for example, these non-designated big companies, that's not a problem. But of course, you will have to go through a different program or a different process. You could be processed through provincial nomination program or express entry, depending on the an AIPP designated employer. So non-designated employers, if they want to hire you, they have to go through the process. They have to apply for an LMIA, for labor market impact assessment. The thing about LMIA, when an employer is actually applying for an LMIA, they are actually paying 1,000 Canadian dollars just for an LMIA to be processed. So that's why it's an advantage for AIPP designated employers because they do not need LMIA and they do not have to pay 1,000 Canadian dollars. So they could save, right? So that is also one of the reasons why it's easier to get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer than a regular employer. Eugene Rule, when you apply for work permit to get to Canada faster, do you get 1 year or 2 years? Okay, for AIPP, they will only you should get, or if the employer wants to process a work permit for you, you will be getting 1 year work permit. Why only 1 year? Because once you process your application for work permit, you have 90 days or 3 months to apply or to complete an application for a permanent residence. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, for example, I apply for a work permit today. I have until 3 months from now to make sure that I'm able to apply for a permanent residence. And the PR processing for AIPP is 6 months. So 6 months. So imagine 6 months, for example, 6 months is the processing, and then I actually submitted my application for permanent residence 3 months after I applied for work permit. So that's 9 months. So that means in 9 months, I should get my permanent residence. That's why they only provide 1 year of work permit. So that's why it's very important that when you submit your application for permanent residence under AIPP, all your documents are complete, all your documents are properly signed, because otherwise your application will be sent back to you, which will cause delay. Okay, delay back to them, and they only have 1 year of work permit until they needed to renew their work permit, because until then they have not gotten their permanent residency. Okay, but only 1 year. But application or applying to extend your work permit, that is possible. Okay, depending on the support of your employer. Just 1 second. Next question. Hello, sir, Erica. That's from Erica. Greetings from Singapore. Mhm. Okay, so Moments Gaming is from Lahore, Pakistan. Hello, how are you there? Okay, Eugene Ru, another question. How many permits for AIPP are they looking to issue in 2020? As far as I know, nothing has changed yet. Okay. I said earlier, the AIPP program has been introduced in 2017, intended to last only until 2020. However, the success rate is very high. Positive feedback from the applicants and from the employers, and it actually brought an economic growth in the Atlantic Canada. So they decided actually to continue the program, extended the program, and as far as I know, from what I heard, it will also be permanent. Okay, but nothing has been confirmed yet, but there's a possibility that they are actually permanenting this program, which is good because there would be more people who could actually immigrate in Canada. And if you actually saw the news, the target for number of immigrants expected to come in Canada in the next 5 years is 2 million. So that's why you can see that there's a lot of new programs that are actually popping up, coming out like mushrooms, because of course, if they really want to bring a lot of people here in Canada, then it is very important that there are more programs that the questions again. Okay, Almira TV, hello once again. Thank you for watching once again. Uh-huh. Wes, awesome with surveys. That's what I heard. Wes is very good on their the same time. Okay, so these programs, if you're actually applying for example, if you're just signing up for Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program in Claire's home in Vernon, you can have multiple profiles, and you could apply for jobs as many as possible, and you could also have an express entry profile. However, once you get an invitation to apply for permanent residence, or you are already processing your permanent residence under AIPP or any other program, then you cannot apply for to actually live in their province. So, for example, let's say like this: you got a job offer, you are processed for a permanent residence, for example, in Manitoba. So one of the requirements in that program is you have the legal or intent, serious intent to live in that province. And then you will also apply for an AIPP in Newfoundland and Labrador. So of course, if the province knows about it, both provinces, then it's conflicting, right? Because you are saying that you're committing that you want to live in those provinces, but you can only live in one province at the same time. And also the federal government will also see that. So that's the answer about it. From Saru Madhavan, hello, how are you? Question is, I am trying to page. I regularly talk with designated employer. I'm a manufacturing manager with 5 years of industrial experience, but I didn't get anything. If I'm an employer and I would be hiring people to process through AIPP, and I need that person to come here in Canada as soon as possible, of course, I Michael Olude, Nigerian from Dubai. According to information gathered, there will be an information sessions in Dubai and Abu Dhabi for nurses. That is correct. The province of New Brunswick actually posted that on their website, and it's necessary that people who are interested to join that information session, only for nurses. Okay, they specifically mentioned is for nurses. That people who are interested to sign up on their website, and they will evaluate their credentials, and they will only invite people who they think are qualified. They even ask for the qualifications of the spouse of the principal applicant. So that is something that people should actually take advantage of. Michael, is this program meant only for nurses in these locations, or professional nurses could sign up for the program from anywhere in the world? Yes, of course, people from all over the world can actually sign up for that. However, once they get invited, they need to make sure that they will be available to come to Dubai or Abu Dhabi during the information session. Okay. Saru, I have one doubt. My NOC is A, but can I apply for NOC B? For example, I am a production manager. Can I apply for production supervisor position if I get selected AIPP and there's my petition? Yes, of course, that is possible. I already mentioned to you, me as an example, my NOC was NOC 0. I was a restaurant manager. I got the job offer for NOCP, food service supervisor. So that is not a problem. Another question, Joy Torres. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Hi, survey. My husband has received a confirmation of receipt of AIPP endorsement from Newfoundland. May I know how long it would take to get the endorsement certificate after receiving the receipt? Thank you. As far as I know, now it varies. Like in the past, for example, for me, I was one of the first batches to be processed in AIPP. I only waited for successful has been very popular, so more people are being processed at the same time. For example, my sister, she got her endorsement letter more than 6 months in New Brunswick, and also it might take a little longer. Okay. Okay, Saru Madhavan, thank you for your answer. Oh, my pleasure, no problem. So those are the questions that I've got so far. Once again, if this is your first time to be watching my videos and you have not done so, please subscribe in my YouTube channel, and you could actually have access to all the videos that I create. I create different videos and provide tips on how to immigrate here in Canada. I also discuss different programs to immigrate here in Canada. Some of the programs, AIPP, RNIP, or Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. I also touch a little about the Ontario Regional Immigration Pilot Program. So several programs. I also talk about agro food. Is it possible to DIY, do it yourself, and once I acquire for my job and find consultant to process my application, does it cost too much? Okay, Eric, of course, cost of processing is actually all dependent to which immigration consultant you're actually going true. Me, for example, I studied immigration consulting. I got my diploma, and definitely one of the reasons for that is um, over the course of my application and joining forums and people actually asking me questions, I found out that most immigration consultants are charging very big amount of money. So I decided, or I told myself that if I would process, I would not overcharge people because I was once um, an permanent resident as an immigrant aspirant here in Canada, right? Do DIY, do it yourself. Yes, of course you can do that. Initially, I had when I was first applying or processing my application, I got an immigration consultant. I paid the services, but in the end, I decided to also do it myself because my immigration consultant was in the Philippines and I was in Papua New Guinea that time, and I just went for holidays. My consultant or my agent actually wants to spend one day with them. I have my holidays, and I said no, it's okay. I understand the program. I know what things to be done. So I just decided to do it myself, and in the end, I was successful. My sister also she did DIY as well. But of course, it all depends on you, right? If you understand the program, if you have a good understanding also of the forms and what are the things that you need, you can do it yourself. However, if you are hesitant, if you're not confident, I would suggest hire a consultant to make sure that nothing goes wrong, your application will not send back to you, and the chances of rejection is very low. Cover for time once PR is being processed. Actually, it's not necessary. You don't have to have a medical coverage. That's your option if you want, but you don't have to because the province actually will process you a medical coverage. So each province actually provides medical coverage to all its residents, either you're a permanent resident or you're a work permit holder. However, of course, the processing takes 3 months in most of the provinces. So that is something that you should look into if you think that you might need to see a doctor, or you need a coverage, and you could purchase your own. But if you so if you have a valid work permit, you could apply for a medical health card. Saru, how much will be taken to endorse it? The employer needs me immediately within 3 months. You told 6 months of processing AIPP program. If they give TPR, how much time will be taken to land in Canada? I'm not quite sure if I understand again. Endorsement. Endorsement is something the province actually is processing. The employer cannot do something about it. The employer has nothing to do about it. The employer could actually follow up, but it's still the province processing the endorsement. Okay, endorsement letter is a requirement for both work permit and permanent residence. So that means you cannot apply for a work permit without that endorsement. So if you're worried about taking 3 months for a work permit and a permanent residence at the same time. Okay, thanks for answering my questions. Okay, so that is about it. If you have any more questions, please feel free to put it in the live chat. Um, I'll give you some more time before we finish our live streaming. Okay, so for people who just joined into our YouTube live, we're talking about immigrate Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So I talk about the requirements, what the program is. Actually varies from which country you are processing. For example, in the Philippines, when I processed mine, the time frame was 7 weeks, and I actually got my work permit in 7 weeks. Um, for example, Middle East, UAE, or Oman, Kuwait, it actually takes 6 to 8 months. So that's why sometimes the permanent residence, the PR actually gets first, comes first even before the work permit comes. Okay, so it varies depending on the country. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, I will go through the questions that were posted in the past, and hopefully I could provide some answers on that as well. Oh, no problem, Eugene. Okay, I'll just open the Facebook page and I will go through the several questions that we have received over there. Okay. Okay, let's first I really thank you for answering my questions. It's quite informative. Oh, my pleasure, no problem. Just if you have questions, please post it there. And we will do our live streaming once a week. Maybe the same time we'll fix it like this. Or if you have suggestion, for example, of the timing that you want to do it, let me know. So of course we would want to have more participants on this. Thank you, Joy. No problem. My pleasure po. Mhm. Okay, I'll just open this and check for some questions if I have questions. Okay, I have one question here. What kind of proof of fund can be presented? It could be a bank certificate or a bank statement. Mhm. Oh, thank you. No problem, Erica. I'm not sure if we still have some questions. If not, I think we'll finish this live streaming for now. And hopefully, in the next few sessions, we will have more participation. Okay, Modesto Takda, bank statement for at least how many months? From the website, they said 6 months. However, for me, for example, I actually presented only bank certificate. The bank certificate doesn't show the movements in your bank account. It only statement. Make sure you present maybe 3 to 6 months. If not, the bank certificate would do. And if they ask for something else, then you can just present them. Because for me, as I've said, I presented bank certificate, which only shows when my bank account was open, how much was in there, and I didn't get any more follow-up questions on that. Okay. So I have a suggestion for your user each and every month. Designated employer list is updated in Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. Oh, then that's good. So, okay, so for those people who are still watching, Saru just mentioned here, February 29, 2020, the list of AIPP designated employers have just been updated. So I would highly recommend you to have a look. And of course, it's going to be very good for you to see as well. Okay, how can you get a job offer? Go through that list. If you could actually contact the employers directly, ask them if they're hiring, or if not, when. And also, you could go through job sites such as Indeed.ca, and you could apply, send your application directly to them. Okay. Do you have any more questions, guys? Or maybe I would want to shout out to other people who are still viewing. Please comment your of course your name and where you're viewing from. Oh, by the way, tomorrow I have an English exam. I already mentioned that. I just completed my Immigration Practitioner's Diploma in January 2020, and I intend to take the licensure exam on May. One of the requirements is an English exam once again. So I will be sitting for an English exam tomorrow. So wish me luck, guys, and hopefully I could pass, meet the requirements, so I could sit down and process. I could do better. I could help you more. Okay. Eric Balanza, is it possible to do it yourself? And once I acquire for my job offer and find consultant to process my application, does it cost too much? It is possible. Yes, you can do it yourself. And if you want in the end the to get the services of immigration consultant, that's not a problem. How much does it cost? As I've said, it depends. It varies. Okay, I think the minimum that I've seen, but don't quote me on this, immigration consultant for permanent residents, they actually at least a minimum of 4,000 Canadian dollars. I think that's the lowest, or there could be lower. And the highest other shark immigration consultants, meaning they charge very, very much, which some people 6,000, 7,000, which is very expensive. So you can actually save some money, do it, please. Hmm. Okay, oh, Saru again. If a person gets proof of funds as gift, how much time he should maintain the proof of fund? For example, if a person gets a job, can he maintain proof of fund? Okay, yes, Saru, if a bunch of money is given to you, that is not a problem. However, you need to get an affidavit, an authorized affidavit, um, stating that this amount of money was given to you as a gift by a person. So it's an authorized affidavit of deed. Yeah, give us deed. That's correct. Thank you for the prompt response. No problem, Eric. My pleasure po. Okay, Harish Budovala, how to get a job offer in AIPP region for NOC and 2174. I don't know what's NOC 2174. I don't memorize 2174. I created a video about how to get a job offer in Canada from outside of the country. So if you want, you could refer to that. My my tips, if you really want to get a job offer, you need to make sure that you have a very good CV or resume. Make sure that you have it formatted in a Canadian standard format. Next one of my next videos definitely would be talking about how to get once your CV or resume has been prepared, you need to make sure that you send your application through the proper channels. You could actually send it directly to the employer, check their websites, call them, get their email addresses. That's better. Or you could use job sites such as Indeed.ca. That could also be helpful. When I was applying before several times, I think two times, I got a reply from an AIPP designated employer when I applied for Indeed.ca. And then once you get your chance to be interviewed, make sure you prepare for it and make sure you nail it. You don't waste that opportunity. It's very difficult to get. Good luck, sir. Thank you, Erica. Hopefully I could get the results that I need for tomorrow. Saru, so there's no time limit like one should maintain for 6 months before getting a job. There is no requirement for getting a job. So as soon as you get the job, that's why I said try and try until you get your job. Okay. I know some people who have been waiting for 18 months, 1 year. Finally, they got their job offer. So it's just a matter of being patient. Eugene Rue, if you get a higher IELTS, say 6 and more, proof of funds, is that an advantage? Of course, that's an advantage. For me, okay, the thing is, I said earlier, CLB4, right? That's the minimum requirement for employers or to qualify for AIPP. But not all employers are actually sticking to that. For example, my sister, when she processed hers, I think her employer requires CLP 6. So why other employers actually require higher CLB? The reason is it is a rule in under AIPP that if an employer is hiring people whose IELTS or language proficiency is school in their province. School meaning to improve their language. So for example, if I'm an employer and I hire you in time to improve your language. You know what I mean? So of course, if you have higher IELTS, CLB, the better. Yeah, that's correct. That is what I'm saying. Your questions, guys. I have to eat some pizza. Okay, please. I am apologizing. It's actually 11 o'clock in the evening here in Alberta, Canada. It's a very long day for me. I started working in Jasper today at 8. I went here straight, driving for 4 hours just to make sure that I will make it for our live streaming at 10 p.m. Okay. Yeah, my business is already closed, so there's no need to maintain proof of funds for 6 months. Yeah, no, not really necessary. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm intending. If I become an immigration consultant, I will make sure that I don't charge my clients very high. Of course, I will charge them the fair amount comparing the market to the market, but I'm not here to take advantage of my clients. Pizza is a success. Congratulations to all of us. Thanks, Erica. I'm also waiting for it. I'm very excited. I studied the program for a year. Imagine that. And that's a very, very expensive program. Man, I'm so hungry. Okay. So, Erica, you said you're in Singapore, right? Oh, Glackerf. Hi, brother. About construction, they are hiring immigrants. Yes. And they're telling me that they are actually hiring through AIPP several people already. So that's very good. Here it's 11 p.m. here. Oh, Erica, I was just asking how is Singapore right now, especially there's the coronavirus scare there, right? And guys, also tell me if our schedule for live streaming is okay for you. Because if not, if we need to change that, let me know. So, I just want to make sure that we have more viewers attending our live streaming. Okay, Roan Cheryl Manalo. Hi, how are you there? Welcome to the live streaming. Sir, just want to ask how long is the process for AIPP applicants? Okay, as I've said earlier, the processing for AIPP permanent residence from the moment the government actually receives your complete package of application, they have 6 months to make sure that they give you the results. So it's a 6 months processing. So it's a very good program because you don't have to wait for so long. You get a permanent residence. Requirements are easier compared to other programs. I know some people are giving up, they're having difficulty getting a job offer. My personal advice, don't lose hope. Okay, don't lose hope. Hold on there. You will get the job offer soon. Mhm. Goodness, I was starving. And also, if you have any comments or suggestions on how I can make the videos more informative or more appealing to you guys, let me know. It's my first time to be doing this YouTube thing, so that's why I hope you understand that my videos are not that creative compared to others, but I'm trying to make it as much as informative as I could, because anyways, what's important is I provide you the information. But of course, I would want also to improve myself. So if you have suggestions on how I can make the videos more appealing to you guys, let me know. Okay. Okay, Erica. So far we're okay, sir. Though there's a lot of confirmed case. SG's government are doing a job well. So thanks for the concern. Oh, thank you. No problem. Because I know I live in Singapore before, and I know how difficult it is. A lot of people from different countries all over the world um, are coming to Singapore. So, okay, Glocker F. If you're on a work permit, for example, because this program will have the choice of you applying for a work permit. So if you're still on work permit, there is no chance for you to work to other company or create your business. Okay. However, once you get your permanent residence, you could leave your employer, you could move to another employer, you could you could you could do more than 2 jobs or 3 jobs. When I was in Newfoundland, I was having 3 jobs. So it doesn't matter. And if you want to do business, of course, you could also do the business. If you have your capital, do the registration. That's not a problem as long as you have your permanent residence already. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Guys, do you have any more questions before we finish this live stream? And guys, I would actually ask for some a little favor from you guys, please. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And also, if you could share my videos to your wall, to your friends, some more people who are interested to Canada would get a better understanding of what we do here. Oh, Roan, Cheryl Manalo. My husband already have job offer endorsement letter. Oh, congratulations! And the employer passed it already in the immigration. Are we already waiting for PR or just work permit? Okay, so something I need to clarify. Endorsement letter and job offer are requirements for a processing for PR and work permit. It should be actually it should be you who would actually be applying for that, unless the because your work permit, for example, you will only be the one to know if actually your employer requires you for a work permit or straight permanent residence. Work permit usually is processed through VFS, visa offices. Okay, so for example, if you're in the Philippines, you have to pass or to submit your work permit is approved, they will send it back to you together with your passport already stamped, the visa already stamped on it. And then for PR application, you have to do an application and send it to the IRCC office in Nova Scotia. Are you sure that what they pass is your application, or they actually submitted your job offer and requirements to get an endorsement letter? So if you could clarify that, because that's something that is a bit confusing. Guys, if you have some more questions, please put it in our comment box. And definitely, I would, if I know the answer, I will give it to you the answer. Right. Do you have any more? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Shout out to my friend Nico Manaluz from the Philippines. So as I was saying earlier, there are several new programs already being introduced. So it's not only AIPP. There is for more people actually to come. There is also another program about regional Ontario Regional Immigration Pilot Program. This program is also new. It will run for 2 years. The thing on this program is only limited, so they will only be providing 150 permanent residents per year. So I will create a video about it to also to discuss the step by step procedure on how people could apply. Okay. So we're so confused also, sir. As far as I know, my husband have endorsement letter, job offer, and settlement plan, and the employer said we just wait. That's weird. Because once you get your settlement plan, your endorsement letter, you can start sending your application. Glocker F, I'm still looking for a job offer. I work with remodeling. Do you recommend someone or no easy way? Now I live in Texas, but I'm Brazilian. Have you checked Indeed.ca or the job bank? I like you better when- Oh, Red Ruiz. Okay, so that's Nico. Kumusta po? Nambalita dyan, Sarge. Just keep on trying Glacker F. Not all employers will actually respond, but you wouldn't know. Maybe one day you get one of the employers to reply to you, right? Thanks, Nico. Eric Balanza, is it okay, sir, to mention on cover letter that we are applying for AIPP? Um, to be honest, it doesn't necessarily, you don't need to put the AIPP because in the end, it's your employer who, when AIPP was actually launched, they hired a lot of people and from different countries. They're able to get more people easier. They got their permanent residence. They could move around different stores. But the problem is, most of the people who got their permanent residence, once like they stayed for some time, and then after they decided, the employer decided now that new most of the new hires will no longer be processed under AIPP, but instead processed through provincial nomination. So as I've said, it's still the employer who will decide which program they will process you. Oh, to my friend Nico, greetings to his wife Marie and Zedric. Hi, thank you for watching. Greetings from Canada. Kumusta po kayo diyan? Hindi pa tayo na, we haven't met in person, so hopefully when I come back to the Philippines, I could meet you there, Marie and Zedric. Wala ka naman. If you like, guys, maybe for those who are still viewing, maybe comment the your job. No friends who know employers, AIPP designated employers who are looking for that job. Maybe you could put that in the comment section so we could discuss it. And maybe we could help one another as well. Okay, Vamsi Mohan, his profession is architect. So, guys, if some of you know people who are hiring for architects, or you are both architects, maybe you could help one another and provide, because that's what I did on my um, Facebook page, Facebook group. I have been talking with different people from different backgrounds, and that's how I got a job offer for my sister because, like, one of the person I was chatting with got a job offer from a call center in Canada. And when I talk about it, what was his qualifications, experience, he was a librarian and get an offer a job as a customer service representative. So I asked, oh, is that I don't think how do you say that? The contact details of the human resources. I gave it to my sister, and now she's here in Canada, right? Kids Hero, oh, nursing aid. Hi, how are you? Oh, welcome back to the channel, kids. You're always you always watch start logging in very late. I started this live streaming an hour and a half ago. Thank you. Guys, I also posted a video about immigrating to. I don't know if you already watch it, like the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. I already discussed several rural communities such as the Vernon, British Columbia. Maybe that's there's home Alberta. Um, One thing I like about Alberta, the minimum wage is very high. So our minimum wage here in Alberta is $15 per hour. While in other provinces, for example, Newfoundland, 11.40. So imagine the difference, right? So that's something that you should be considering as well. There is also an immigration program to immigrate to Ontario, Thunder Bay, Ontario. I also created a video about it. So please make sure you watch those videos. Um, Take the advantage of all the information that you get from this from my YouTube channel, and hopefully use that as an advantage so you could get first-hand information of the different options that you could actually yeah, you could come here in Canada. What's the best PNP program for architecture? Something I would look into. Okay. Kids Hero, can I use your immigration service? Kids, at the moment, not yet. Hopefully by May. I just completed my immigration practitioner's diploma, but I still need to get the licensure, to pass the licensure exam. So tomorrow, one of the requirements, I will be taking the CAEL, CAEL language exam. So I think it's similar to CELPIP. That's also one of the requirements for me to become a licensed immigration consultant. So wish me luck, guys. Tomorrow I have an English exam at 12:30 at noon. So hopefully I could pass that exam so I could be able to sign up to register for the licensure exam on May. Okay. May is the licensure exam. Once I pass that, then yes, I could start my immigration practice and I could help you guys. So wish me luck. Hopefully. Mm. And also, guys, if you have subscribed, please hit the notification bell as well. So when I create a video and upload it on YouTube, you would get a notification about this new video, and you would get, of course, the information that you need. Good luck. Can I be the first to use your immigration service? Of course, kids. As soon as I get my license, I would definitely start practicing and help you guys. My plan is, for example, if I become an immigration consultant, I get my license, I would tie up with, of course, universities and colleges. So for international people who would like to become an international student here in Canada, I could be of better help to them. I would also be partnering with different employers, so that if they hear that something that I'm already planning to have partnership with employers and with colleges, because I understand it would be very helpful to candidates as well. Eric Balanza, question, sir. Do you suggest to gather ECA and take IELTS first before applying for a job in Canada? Oh, I think I answered it earlier, but I will answer once again. Um, do I suggest to gather ECA and take IELTS? I would recommend. However, it's not a requirement. Why do I recommend it? As I've said earlier, if I'm an employer, I have five candidates. I really needed the person to come as soon as possible who would be able to do that. Someone who has their documents readily available. So I would prefer someone who has their documents readily available than someone who will start, okay, I give you the job offer, then you will sit down for an IELTS. You will process for your ECA. It would take 2 or 3 more months to process, right? So it would delay the processing. And if I really need the person as soon as possible, I would rather get someone who already has the documents. Valid for 2 years. So you don't have to wait last minute, okay? Vamsi Mohan, can we mention in CV that we are applying for PNP and mention that if given offer will be able to join? As I've said, that is your choice. If you want to put that in your letter, that's not a problem. However, it's still the employer who will decide what kind of program they will actually consider you to process. Eric Balanza, thank you, sir. No problem. You're welcome. My pleasure. Mm, nice. Mm. Most of my viewers are coming from Canada, Philippines, India, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Just trying to understand the analytics, viewer age. And guys, thank you very much for your continuous support. I'm just checking the status of my channel. I created my YouTube channel last year, but I was not really taking it seriously until recently, until I think January, I started re-uploading videos. And yeah, right now we have 945 subscribers. So thank you very much. You have been there to help me, and hopefully we would reach the minimum 1000 1000 to get better feature of our YouTube. Because like right now I need to do the YouTube live in laptop because I cannot do it in my mobile phone because I don't have 1000 subscribers yet. IM manager sort, but I don't see any job code for such. Then my main NOC is still architecture manager or how? Yeah, it should be the same architecture manager. So that should be an NOC zero. Have you searched for NOC and then type the specific job requirements because NOC usually is classified according to the job description. So I think that's something that would be more helpful to you. No, no problem, Vamsi. My pleasure. I hope I am helpful to you. And obviously, as I've said, I will continue creating videos. Last week, I was not able to upload any video because I was so busy preparing for this English exam. So after this English exam, definitely I will make it a habit to upload at least 3 videos a week. Okay. Satvir Singh, hello. I have one query related to Alberta Express entry. My score is 411 and my NOC is 1311. I'm still waiting for the NOI. Please guide me. Okay. Alberta Express entry. 411 to be honest is far away from the score, from the CRS score that they're actually inviting. I think you might need to increase it by getting a job offer. So job offer would give you extra 50 points. Also, otherwise, Alberta, as far as I know, also, even though you don't meet the scores, the score requirement, you just have to wait and be in the pool because they also nominate people for provincial Alberta Immigration Nomination Program. As long as if your job is something that um, is in demand in Alberta, they also nominate people even though they don't meet the score. So who among you guys have already visited Canada? Like visitors visa or work permit in the past?
Rahil Khan, Yusuf, see how to get the job offer. It's very difficult. It is very difficult. That is true. However, you need to have patience. Okay, not everything comes easy. And as I've said, when there's patience, you would actually fulfill your dreams. You just have to wait. Oh, Janet, Feliz, good luck on your exam tomorrow, sir. God bless. Thank you very much. I need that prayers as well. Guys, let me know because I started this live streaming 1 hour and 48 minutes ago, and it seems like more people are actually joining later. So let me know if I need to adjust the timing like an hour later, or this is okay. Coming as a visitor to Canada, have a big chance to find a job right and finding from outside Canada. Kids Hero, I would say yes. Of course, if you are here in Canada as a visitor's visa and you walk in applying for jobs, of course, if I'm an employer, I would prefer to meet someone in person, right? And then you could have more choices because you could speak to more employers and you wouldn't know maybe the employer that you're speaking with is very much interested to hire someone from outside of Canada or willing to sponsor people who doesn't have a work authorization in Canada as well. So yes, that could be an advantage. But still there's no guarantee. But obviously it's more advantageous if you're here. But more costly, more expensive. Okay, so in the next 10 minutes, I would accommodate more questions. I limit this streaming for 2 hours, maybe. So what I'm saying is I will end this live stream in the next 10 minutes. So please, if you have more questions, comment that in our live chat. Otherwise, just keep on watching my videos, and I will do my best to upload um, 3 videos a week to make it more consistent and regular amount of information will be spread to people like you guys. Satvir Singh, thank you for the advice. Is it possible to get a job offer from India? If yes, what needs to be done? It doesn't matter which country are you in. It is always possible to get a job offer even you're not in Canada. I got my job offer when I was leaving. I got a job offer, Canadian job offer when I was living in Papua New Guinea. My sister got a job offer while she was living in UAE. Some of my friends got their job offers while some of them are in Singapore, some of them are in the Philippines, some of them are in UAE, in Hong Kong, in Macau. So it doesn't really matter which country you are living. Okay, the employers will give you job offer. You just need to be patient and you just need to be able to, if you're lucky enough to spot the right employer, or you could get the employers. Try indeed.ca, guys, because of the job sites.
Good luck on your exam waiting to be used. Your immigration services got to go by. Maybe 2 more minutes, guys, before I sign off. Thank you for viewing, Kids Hero. My pleasure. So we'll see you next week again. Satvir Singh, I'm already in the pool and hoping to get NOI from Alberta because they do nominate people with CRS score 400 or below. Yes, that is correct, Satvir. As far as I know, they have nominated people with below 400. So please be patient, just be there. And of course, if you could try to improve your score, that's even better while waiting. But otherwise, please hang on there, be patient, and of course, there's always possibility. Best of luck. Okay? So, guys, I think that's it for now. Thank you very much for viewing. And once again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I would love you to be part of my YouTube family. And once again, I create videos about immigration to Canada. Other than my live streaming, I also have videos about different programs. And I wish all of you the best, guys. Hopefully, one of these days, you would get this opportunity to live and immigrate here in Canada. So let's just pray together and hopefully all our dreams will come true. And thank you very much and see you next week. Bye.